This is a milestone in canon documentary. Kayfabe on. Introducing Static Shock.
Word, yeah, I know about Static.
I know he resides in Dakota.
Of course I know who Static is. That's like my bestie. I'm not gonna put his business out to y'all.
This guy just got his superpowers.
Lightning powers, flies, he's young, kind of looks like me.
He had that bright yellow jacket, but somehow he made that thing work.
He's got to upgrade those goggles, and he will eventually.
I don't like his new look without the jacket. Brother needs his jacket.
When he shows up and you see all them lightning bolts and all of that electricity flashing, and you just see that costume that he has and that emblazed lightning bolt, can't help but feel safe, man.
He is a bang baby, but he is one of those good ones. So before you attack me for anything, he is one of those good ones. Just want to clarify that real quick.
It reminds me of this kid that lives up the block named Virgil. I saw him at Juneteenth, and he had this outfit with this lightning bolt on it and a Malcolm X hat. And I was like, man, that would make a really dope outfit for Static. They're about the same size.
Introducing Anansi the Spider.
Anansi's cool. He got a lot of history to him, right? There's a big background with Anansi. He's kind of like a folk hero.
But I just see him as a superhero.
He has the powers of storytelling.
His outfit looks pretty tight.
Southern Louisiana Creole Bayou looking uniform. It has something reminiscent of spider weavings that you can see on different spiders' backs, the patterns, the way it goes down his chest and his arms, the side of his thighs. African weaves wrapped around his arm.
Arachnid right there on the top of his cape. A little Zorro look, the hat and the mask.
I like that.
Staff on his back. Maybe he got some kind of martial art background.
I really like that spider emblem on his back. Kudos to whoever designed that.
I'm not really too sure who Anansi is.
Anansi's the great storyteller.
Yeah, I don't know anything about these storybook powers.
Imagine a string, and it's connected to each person. And every person that has a string connected to them is essentially their life story. Everything that could be and everything that is. But those strings can splinter off into different segments, kind of like a web. And so by him accessing those ethereal webs, he can connect to any being's story and the potential for it. And therefore he can manipulate it.
He's like a black superhero, man. He came through, he was like killing 9 hornets and shit with his hand. It was just falling off and everything, man. That little dude was all scared in the ground and shit, but Anansi saved him.
So not only can this cat talk to us, he can control bugs.
He tells stories, and those stories he can manifest into reality. If he wants to say, I tell a story about me floating amongst the clouds, he suddenly flies.
Man, what is he on, man? He said that backflip, man. That sounds like a gymnast or something. That's fantastic. Whoa.
Anansi's over here twirling his stick and everything. Take these hornets out the game. Trying to be Petey Pablo, you know what I mean? Stand up, North Carolina. Petey Pablo, stand up, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Sliding up out of there with the spider steps. Taking a moonwalk like Michael Jackson.
Stories were born here. So were you and I. If I am magic, then a guardian of the land like you must be the magic as well, where the stories of our brothers and sisters exist.
So we don't only know about what's going on because of Anansi.
We wouldn't even be able to do this documentary right now.
Even though Static be over there doing what he does over there with the bang babies in Dakota, my guy, the trickster god himself, Anansi, he be out here still saving people. Park rangers, don't matter.
Oh, you don't know when Static and Anansi teamed up?
On Static's side, he was busy increasing his knowledge while Anansi was banishing swarms to the underworld.
The story takes place in Dakota during Juneteenth. And you know the festival was lit.
We should have known it was going to happen on Juneteenth. Something had to pop off on Juneteenth. Like, it always happens.
What happened was just before he was going to reach the boycott Starbucks booth, his phone pinged. It was the Bang Baby hotline.
Static got those messages and immediately jumps on that electric skateboard, just sliding on out.
Devontae was in dire straits, his phasing abilities inactive. And as things go from bad to worse, he's confronted by 4 officers, not a body camera in sight, with their weapons drawn out.
That's why we need superheroes like Static and Anansi. They out here roughing up kids. No matter, just because he purple and in the Bang Baby don't mean you got to rough him up.
That's really cool to see, man. Static is taking this guy under his wing. They like brothers, even though he looked like a demon of some sort.
Yeah.
So what's up with Devontae though? That's, you know, with the horns. I don't get that. Where do you get the horns from?
Some people got some really amazing powers, but I think a lot of societies realize too that some of these kids, these unfortunate people, have gotten deformities. Like some of their powers have manifested in some very unattractive physical ways.
When that bomb went off and everything, right? Static got lucky. He got lightning. Devontae got horns. What you gonna do with horns?
Tough luck, Devontae.
Y'all be too hard on people sometimes. We can work with it. It's something we can work with. It's not that bad.
Static, he doesn't see color. Devontae and Static, that friendship, that's a lifelong bond.
Devontae, who the heck are these guys? These guys are ready to throw down. You got homeboy in the R. Kelly mask and the cane. He ready to whip some ass.
Let's see that staff in action now. Let's go.
I bet that staff got a silly name. It looks like a pimp cane.
And all of a sudden, you just see Anansi taking down these Star Chamber dudes. Well, they got them stars on their forehead. They look weird. But Anansi was like, 1, 2, 3, bam, bam. Static was in shock. No pun intended.
No one can say and give Anansi all the credit. He was handling his business, but Static came in there and he wiped the floor the rest of those guys. Static is the man.
Thank you, Static. Appreciate it.
This is not just about Static. This is also about him.
I like them both, but I'm a little partial to Anansi.
As much as he can be annoying, he's the one telling all these stories. And without him, you don't know about Static.
Definitely Team Anansi. Who says no to red and black?
Nah.
Team Static.
All of a sudden, there's these 9 gems.
These Star Chamber people, they have these crystals. They look like they bought them at the mall at one of those hippie shops.
For the unseen. What?
Holding it up in the air saying, the unseen. Like, dude, what are you doing with the crystal? Stop. Ain't no voodoo here. This is Dakota.
So anyway, Devontae was there, right? And the Static just shows up out of nowhere.
And then he got sucked into the ancestral pathways. He's just a teenager. That's way too much.
They just took Devontae into some crazy dimensional rift.
He don't really know Static, but he jumped in there and saved him, man. And not say just now meeting Static, jumped in front of that light. We don't know where that light comes from. We don't know what it is, but he jumped in front of Static and protected him. That shows true character, man. You don't see that much these days.
He just got his superpowers. He's not ready for anything like this.
Though Anansi treated him like he was ready for this fight, apologizing as he raised him. Young brother, he called him.
It sounds like Anansi was kind of sunning him a little bit. You go, young brother, sorry, ahead and you. Man, why you had the respect in the first place?
I am not of your brood, but you may call me Anansi. I watched a video about some folktales with Anansi back in elementary school. Aren't you supposed to be a Spider-Man? I am what I need to be, and now, after recent events, it seems that I need to be in Dakota. Aw, man, please tell me you're not going to be all weird, creepy, and evil.
He was gonna be weird, creepy, and evil. Ain't no two ways about it. And that's when Anansi just come out of nowhere and he's all like, I perceive the reality or ethereal web of stories that surround every living thing and weave perception and reality together.
Devontae was gone and there was no leads. Attention turned to the gentleman below.
Now, the Star Chamber group, they are straight up a cult.
With a dedicated cult in Anansi's way, there was only one thing to do.
Anansi took the story out from his brain.
He can use his power to get you to share your story. It's in essence its own version of telepathy. This dude's mad, crazy, powerful.
Oh, great. A psychic autopsy.
Weird, creepy, evil? Check. All of that.
I don't know about the whole entering your mind against your will thing.
Is that ethical?
No.
Context means a lot, and I'm hoping that that's what Static draws from this situation. If anything, Anansi probably had to go about it this way, but maybe not lean on it so much that that's the way you handle your business regularly. Invasion of privacy is invasion of privacy. And strong-arming people with your powers is a villainous thing.
Yeah, Static got over it real quick and was cracking jokes. He had places to be.
They get transported into the ethereal realm of the webs, which deals with people's stories. Everyone has a life story. Everyone has a narrative. That's how they were able to find him. Anansi's abilities to craft, weave, and perceive the life story of individuals. In order to find Devontae, Anansi had to travel to that realm and bring Static through him.
What is that? Some kind of wormhole he got warped or transmuted through there? But guess what? That landing didn't seem too soft, boy. I don't know.
Static. If a dude opens a portal and says, hold my hand, we're about to jump through, you hold the dude's hand.
I guess that cape for Anansi was not for sure because Static like he took a very hard bump.
Should have brought a beach towel, buddy.
Static lands in Africa, and somehow he's able to read the electromagnetic spectrum and determine that he is in Africa.
Boonce Island, Sierra Leone. Now, I knew Static had electrical powers, but I didn't know he could detect the magnetism on the ground to determine where he was.
He basically has his own internal GPS system because he's tied into the electromagnetic spectrum.
That is an awesome power. He can look at the island and read the electromagnetic field going over there. That's incredible.
If I had those kind of powers, I'd be using it to give my car keys or something, but This dude, he's a genius.
He still didn't know he was in Sierra Leone, though, which I found pretty weird. So he really needs to, like, work up on that geography.
How does Static get around? Is he on like a trash can lid or something like that? He be flying around on this round thing, and I don't know if it's like a trash can lid or sewer doors. I don't even know what the hell you call those things. Anyway, he flying around on a circle.
What is Static flying on? And what is that just static electricity, or is that some type of metal flexible pan? What is that?
And Anansi's over here copying him, but he got two. You know what I'm saying? He's got to one up him, right? He got to have two weird trash can lids under his feet. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying he may be trying to son him or big brother him. Because, like, come on, man, what are you doing? Get your own mode of transportation.
Very emotional scene between Anansi and Static.
I haven't been at this too long, and everything that's happened tonight feels way out of my depth. You have already shown much bravery for someone so young, Static. Perfect words.
Now's not really the time to be feeling the levity of the moment, though.
Your family story tells a different tale, Virgil Hawkins, one of warriors, peacemakers, and healers. You simply continue the work of generations stretching back to the motherland. Stories about the child of lightning have made their way to me, and what I see is a hero whose mind and heart are worthy of a great power he wields.
And legend has it that he dropped Static's real name, so I've heard.
Anansi.
Anansi ensured Static's name would remain secret. Whoa, what is it, little brother?
What is it, little brother? Really? I mean, he just proved my point at this point.
This island's been pretty quiet, electromagnetically speaking, but I'm picking up a buzz now. Let's go. How about that ingenuity?
Then they started spying on the villain.
Just a quick little feat of power here.
It's crazy how he can just go stealth mode like that. He's flying on this electrical disc that's not emitting any type of light.
Static is very intuitive of how to use his powers, to even the point where he's able to dim his light to where he can be stealth and still use his powers in the dark.
Just let me turn the light down real quick.
Static been around Anansi one day, and you can already see what's rubbing off on Static. Anansi got power over Static. big bro power.
Yes, brethren. Once I was Nathan Flack, an amateur alchemist. Once an amateur alchemist? Bro, look at your lab coat. Look at your orange hair. You look like Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
He's out here saying, like all of you, I sought to bridge the quantum divide separating science and magic. Then I glimpsed the impossible, vast cosmic consciousness. Watched our every move. I was reborn as Dr. Nemo. What was his name? Flack? From Flack to Nemo, all because of some quantum mumbo jumbo.
I ain't trusting no guy who's got a vat of purple smoke coming out and dresses like that.
Unless there's a genie coming out of that bad boy about to grant me 3 wishes, I don't want to see nothing purple coming out of a bottle.
Nathan Flack, to me, looks like a nerd scientist in a high school science lab, desperate to get approval, the kind that would immediately make me think he's going to lose. He's not going to win.
I know he got his little purple suit on. I know he's giving a little prince, but did y'all hear what he said?
We fuse, we dare, we summon.
And summon he did. O Sebo the leopard, O Nini the snake.
Those are actually African deities. What the hell are they doing here?
Business is picking up. I ain't messing with that.
Those things were huge.
You know what? On second thought, maybe Static should be a little worried here. Maybe she should pause just a bit.
Static and Anansi didn't miss a beat. They jumped right in as equals.
These things that Dr. Nemo summoned were so massive. Static's regular attacks had no effect on him. It took Static to search deep down to have a big enough blast to even have an effect on this. That's just how big these things were, man.
Yo, when Static electrocuted that big ass snake and then nothing happened, woo-wee, let me tell you, man, I thought it was it. It was like lights out. And then Static just came through and he was like, Hadouken.
He hit him with the Dakota Maya.
That is my favorite Static ability. He didn't use those moves for the villains that he fought before.
Static just went all Dragon Ball Z and the dude, that was crazy.
Yes.
They need to be dealt with because they're not of this world. They shouldn't be here. And they cause a major threat to any human being or mortal that comes in contact with them.
The appropriate power level for a threat, that right there is a true hero.
I don't feel sorry for the leopard. The leopard shouldn't have came out. Static had to do what he had to do. And I hope he gets the snake too. Get the snake up out of here. Clear them both up.
Y'all see how my man Anansi come up in there?
Don't get it twisted. Just because he has these mystical powers doesn't mean he can't throw down with that staff. You know, he can bonk you over the head with that joint.
He got that staff. He about to wear some butt out.
Threw that cape off, threw that staff to the side like, hey, look at me. Anansi's here.
I like that.
This Anansi guy is really growing on me with him and his staff.
You know what the crazy part is? As powerful as Anansi is, you know what takes him out? stereo speakers.
Dr. Nemo decided to use these shock waves on his senses, and it just brought Anansi down.
How is he able to get Anansi on his knees?
I think his equilibrium is all off, man. That sound disruptors, they ain't looking good.
I thought this villain was a scrub, right? But now all of a sudden, Anansi couldn't say, hear the stories no more, and just like that was it. He couldn't see nothing, and that's Anansi's whole thing, right? So, who is this dude?
They took the homie Anansi by surprise. I don't know if that was sound or some type of wave, something that hit my man Anansi, but sucker move, man. Sucker move.
The funny thing is, for Anansi to not be able to perceive him is wild, because he's able to perceive everybody's life story and basically their life narrative. So for the scientists to be able to pull a fast one on him, to not turn invisible, but just to be able to just slip between his awareness, that's crazy. That's crazy work.
Thankfully, the friend he made earlier, the brother, was fully equipped for this technology and swept into action.
Some might say Anansi needed Static to get out of the situation. I'm not gonna go that far.
That's what I'm talking about, Static.
Good looking out, Static. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the save.
What does Dr. Nemo have going on? He is on his knees. He's obviously about to lose this battle. He's not going to beat Static, and he's not going to beat Anansi. You're not going to beat them together.
So dude thought he was gonna be slick and summon this kaiju monster beast thing, and ends up getting wrapped up by his own thing he summons.
How you summon this kaiju and then get your ass kicked by this kaiju?
Dunzo.
This dude is such a loser.
Static is so lightning fast. Like, he literally goes from the side of Nini all the way to like another side just to catch the crystal from Anansi.
You know what time it is?
Teamwork makes the dream work. Anansi with the hockey assist over the Static. Straight to Anini the Snake's mouth. Goal.
Alley-oop.
Bullseye.
Hole in one.
Superhero, Static, shock.
Look at that teamwork. We need to get more superheroes together like that. Where's John Stewart? That's how you know that Static and Anansi are on code.
Just all of them got electrocuted at one time. I mean, we're talking 10, 20 monks. Them fools got electrocuted, and that was it.
He literally can shock multiple people around him, all while doing some crazy athletic breakdancing moves.
Man, they got this in the bag. He breakdancing like on electric boogaloo. Woo!
That's when Static did a little spinneroonie.
He's doing like a b-boy flare on his disc. Who does this guy think he is, Junior?
For sure, definitely Anansi is catching his breath from getting his ass whooped with all those sonic speakers.
The Star Chamber's experiments echo the worst of what has been done to our people. I'm glad that you were able to help me in this evil. I really love the fact that Anansi said our people and that he's letting people know that it's us. Us against them, we'll win no matter what. We good.
With a portal open destined for Dakota, Anansi shared that Dr. Nemo may yet still live. He couldn't sense the end of his story.
Damn. Got away.
And that's when this floating head Anansi just starts speaking and says,
I do these call me elsewhere, but be wary, Static. I sense a growing darkness when we first met.
What the heck did he mean by that?
I thought it was over.
Nazi, y'all just went through a battle back to back, and all you can say is some kind of vague warning like that.
we don't even get a good game. We don't even get a good bye. You just peace out like that. That's how you do it.
Static saved Devontae and everybody lived happily ever after.
Then not only did they save Devontae, they saved two other random bang babies. Can I say bang babies?
Two other unknown and mysterious bang babies who one day we may find out their future.
I wish everything was hunky-dory with Static, but after all of this, he still had problems with Ebon after this. Still running into trouble.
Kayfabe off, and you can read more about Ebon in Static, Shadows of Dakota. You need Anansi in your life? Milestone Universe, the Shadow Cabinet will have you covered. This is your reminder to hit thumbs up and share this out to someone who'd like it.